So let's talk about coffee. It's one of those things where I'm sometimes on one side of the fence and sometimes on the other side. And most of the time, I'm sitting on the fence itself, enjoying an occasional espresso, homemade, mind you. So, is it good for health or is it bad? As soon as I think I've settled the debate in my mind, I come across something that makes me hesitate again. I used to be a regular coffee drinker, about 1 or 2 espressos a day, nothing extreme. Then I quit for almost a year to help with my anxiety. Then a few months ago, I got myself a really good manual coffee grinder because if I'm going to relapse, I might as well do it in style, right? I started learning about what makes a good espresso, the roast, the grind, the timing, the crema, and yes, I started drinking coffee again until I started having an eye twitch. Now, I'm still drinking the beverage, only once in a while. The eye twitch is still there, so now I'm blaming that on my screen time, making too many videos. Honestly, I'm not sure anymore. But anyway, what's up with coffee? Let's round up the science and break things down. First, the good. Coffee is one of the richest sources of antioxidants in many people's diets, especially in the West. Polyphenols and other compounds in coffee may reduce oxidative stress, which is at the root of many chronic diseases. Moderate coffee consumption, we're talking about 3 to 4 cups a day, has been associated with lower risk of type 2 diabetes, reduced risk of stroke and heart disease, improved cognitive performance, lower risk of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's in some studies, and liver protection, including reduced risk of cirrhosis and liver cancer. And then there's the performance boost. Caffeine can improve focus, reaction time, endurance, and even fat oxidation during workouts. That's why it's in every pre-workout supplement ever invented. Coffee has also been linked to longevity in several large observational studies. But before we start baptizing babies with espresso, let's slow down and look at the darker side of the roast. Okay, we all know that caffeine is a stimulant. It pushes the adrenal glands to produce cortisol and adrenaline, those stress hormones. This is great when we're gearing up for a morning meeting, and not so great if we're already running on stress fumes. And clearly coffee can mess up with our sleep. Caffeine has a half-life of around 5 to 6 hours. I'm not sure why they say half-life instead of just how long it stays in your body, but anyway, it means that if you drink a cup at 2 p.m., half of it is still floating around in your bloodstream at 8 p.m. And it doesn't just delay sleep, it reduces deep sleep. So you might fall asleep okay, but you don't get that deep restorative sleep. That can catch up over time even if you think you're used to it. Although we all know some of those people who do not seem to be very sensitive to caffeine. And then there are those unicorns, the odd ones who actually seem to sleep better with coffee. It's as mysterious to me as the creation of the cosmos. Anyway, moving on. There's the interesting perspective of Andreas Moritz, author of The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush. According to him, caffeine is not just stimulating, it's actually toxic. He describes it as a nervous system irritant that the body sees as a foreign invader. That's why, he argues, we get an energy spike. The body goes into defense mode, pumping out stress hormones to deal with the perceived attack. In his view, that so-called energy boost isn't real energy. It's the body borrowing from its reserves to fight a toxin. That's quite a strong position, and honestly, while I do resonate with his views on many health topics, I'm not sure what to make of this one. But whether or not we agree with the word toxin, the point is worth reflecting on. I mean, if something forces us to feel awake, could it also be forcing the body to do something it's not quite ready for? What do you think? And since we're on the toxin topic, we also need to talk about mold. You know Dave Asprey, right? The founder of the Bulletproof movement and the guy who turned coffee into a tech startup. He famously claimed that most coffee on the market is contaminated with mycotoxins. toxic compounds produced by mold, especially in lower quality beans or those stored in humid environments. According to him, those mold residues could be contributing to brain fog, fatigue, and inflammation, meaning that jittery, crashy feeling after a cup of coffee might not just be the caffeine. It might be a dose of invisible mold gunk. That's why he launched Bulletproof Coffee, a blend of supposedly ultra-clean beans plus grass-fed butter and MCT oil, designed to give you laser-sharp focus and a metabolism boost. Some people swear by it, others just prefer their bacon and eggs, I guess. Personally, I haven't gone that far in my coffee adventure. Finally, let's bear in mind that coffee can also come with other side effects like digestive issues, blood pressure spikes, palpitations, or yes, potentially my eye twitching. There are also genetic differences. Some people metabolize caffeine quickly, others not so much. That might explain why caffeine doesn't seem to do much for some people. But if you're in the slow group like me, even small amounts can mess with your nervous system. Except maybe for tiramisu, where my body doesn't seem to mind the espresso the sponge is soaked in. So what's the final takeaway? I guess coffee isn't what you would call evil, but it's not a green juice either. For some of us, it can be a lovely ritual, a warm, grounding, antioxidant-rich friend. For others, especially with anxiety, sleep issues, or adrenal fatigue, it might be too stimulating, or something to treat with a bit more caution. As with most things, it depends on context and on the person. Timing matters, dose matters, and our own body's feedback, that matters most. So in my case, I guess you could say it's complicated. I'm kind of listening to the twitch, and whenever I indulge, I try to have my espresso early enough in the day so that it doesn't mess with my sleep. Many of us are probably not meant to quit coffee. Maybe we're just meant to have a conscious relationship with it. One where we can lovingly say, I love you, but I need some space once in a while. And coffee, being the macho Italian friend that it is, will surely understand. So let me know in the comments, are you in love with coffee? Are you in an open relationship? Did you guys recently break up? And do subscribe for more ramblings about our relationship with food and everything else.